the NewsTrack and I'm Marya, Shakil. It starts with a phone call from someone claiming to be a cop or a government official. They speak with authority, cite laws and accuse you or your loved ones of a crime. Fear grips you instantly, you stop thinking, and within days you are trapped, both mentally and financially. This has happened to a retired banker in Delhi who lost 23 crores in a matter of 47 days to a scamster. To an elderly couple in Karnataka, it has happened as well. And it is happening across the country. In fact, Indians have lost over 4,000 crore rupees in 24 lakh digital fraud cases in just these 10 months of 2025. This is India's latest cyber threat, the so-called digital arrest scam. A new age fraud where fear is the weapon and your bank account is the target. Take a look at this report and then I bring in the guests.
आप डिजिटल अरेस्ट में हो, दूसरे कमरे में जाइए, अकेले। आपके पार्सल में ड्रग्स मिले हैं, लंबे जाएंगे। 10 लाख दीजिए, बच जाएंगे।
They won't break into your house. They won't even show up at your door. They'll just call pretending to be cops or central agency officers. Tell you your name is linked to a crime and convince you that you are under house arrest. Welcome to India's newest cyber plague, the digital arrest scam. A 78-year-old retired banker in South Delhi is the latest to be called. A month-long ordeal that led to a fraud of 23 crore rupees in what could be country's biggest digital arrest scam.
एयरटेल हेडक्वार्टर से फ़ोन आता है मेरी लैंडलाइन पे कि हम एयरटेल से बोल रहे हैं और आपको हम मुंबई हेडक्वार्टर पुलिस के साथ संपर्क करा रहे हैं। घोटाला हुआ है, उसके तहत ये पैसा वहाँ से इस्तेमाल हुआ है टेरर फंडिंग और पुलवामा अटैक में आर्म्स और एमुनेशन खरीदने के लिए।
The woman on the call allegedly said he will be arrested under the NIA Act and his property will be seized. He was asked to provide bank details regarding fixed deposits, lockers and stocks. They even sent this former Delhi banker a fake arrest warrant and asked him to not say anything about this to anyone. Over a period of 1 month, between August 4 and September 4th, the fraudsters carried out 20 transactions and withdrew 23 crore rupees from Naresh Malhotra's multiple bank accounts.
पहले तो इन्होंने मेरे अकाउंट में जो बैलेंस था करीब 14 लाख वो निकाल लिया। फिर मैंने बोला मेरे पास मेरे शेयर्स होते हैं, तो वो बोले आपके हम सारे एसेट वेरीफाई करेंगे, ये रिजर्व बैंक का एक वेरिफिकेशन वहाँ भेजे जाएगी, हम आपको अकाउंट नंबर बताएंगे जहाँ पे पैसा भेजेंगे, आरटीजीएस के जरिए आप पैसा देंगे और हम आपको रोज रिजर्व बैंक का एक सर्टिफिकेट देंगे जितना पैसा हमने आपसे लिया है।
कितने पैसे आपसे ले लिए?
लगभग 22 करोड़ 92 लाख।
The police have registered an FIR and a probe is underway. But for Naresh Malhotra and dozens like him, the damage is already done. The hard-earned money is gone. One call, one moment of fear, and everything is gone. That's the danger of digital arrest scams. So think before you pick up, or you will have to pay up. With Arvind Ojha and Astha Bhardwaj, Bureau Report, India Today.
And joining me on the show tonight, Brijesh Singh, additional DGP of Maharashtra, someone who is an expert in this domain. NS Napinai is a Supreme Court lawyer and also founder of Cyber Sathi. And we have two cyber fraud victims joining us, Meeta Wadhwa and Mohkam Singh. Before I bring in the victims and learn from them their story, let me go to Brijesh Singh. Brijesh Singh, in the last few months, there have been extensive awareness campaign which has been launched by the government of India. Multiple state governments have roped in as well. Then why is this menace not stopping? In fact, this latest, cyber arrest which has happened is the highest. I mean, the gentleman in question ended up paying almost 23 crores here.
Marya, awareness is a very difficult thing. And what these people do is that they create authority, fear, and secrecy. So once this is created, the victim generally cannot think in common sense terms about any exposure which has been given through awareness messages. Now, this was being run through various kinds of cyber farms in Cambodia, Myanmar, Laos, and various other places. So, a lot of efforts from the government has led to closure of many of these farms. Even, Indians were taken there, abducted, and kept there, and they were making calls. Though they could have voice and accent, they understood you, they understood your language, they knew what local agencies are there, or what would you be afraid of. But it's actually a multi-layered thing wherein people are properly profiled. Like retired people, they would have money.
Yes.
They generally are compliant to authority, and they are from a time when they believed in physical calls, contacts, and things like that. So they are very vulnerable. They have money, and they become the kind of ironically the right profile to be targeted by these people. So it is something where they make the victim comply to their commands, and hence it is very, very difficult. Once the victim complies, then the money flows to money mule accounts, and from there are quick withdrawals and money goes off. So it is happening in real time, and the law enforcement and the banking response to this in real time is very, very difficult. Hence, this keeps on happening.
Okay. I want to understand from you also, Brijesh Singh, particularly, can there be some kind of collaboration between multiple agencies? Also, the telecom, the role of telecommunication becomes important here. The telecom companies, can they collaborate with the enforcement agencies, banks, and international enforcement to make scam operations harder to run?
A lot is being done. There's a central government Ministry of Home agency which is called I4C, which is doing great work in this regard, which is sharing information across all banks, wallets, any kind of payment operators, NBFCs, UPI. But see, this real-time coordination with everybody becomes extremely difficult because you don't know what route this money is going to take. But the best route is 1930 because 1930 is a number which everybody should note. There's a golden hour principle that if you can call 1930 within an hour of your money being swindled, then there's a high chance that it would be stopped because 1930 has the authority across banks, across institutions, across payment wallets to stop money from flying from your account. So a lot is being done, coordination is being done, but however, the scale of problem is still very large.
Okay, so 1930, for all those watching this program, is the number you can dial in case if you face a situation of this nature. NS Napinai, we are looking at that golden period. What if in multiple cases, in this particular case, again, the golden period was missed because he was allegedly under this cyber arrest, digital arrest for 47 days. Then the question is, how can victims be reassured legally? Fast-tracked cybercrime courts, stronger digital complaint portals, or tougher penalties for impersonation of officials?
Critically, Marya, every victim first looks for recovery of their money. So that's why the golden hour is critical, that you move before the money leaves the banking channels. So I personally feel, and this is something I have been repeatedly vocalizing, which is that that at least one hop is through banking channels. So it is really important for banks to figure out a remedy to block monies once they flow into mule accounts, because you can use technology to identify and create ring fencing in terms of how the money flow happens.
Okay.
Because if they are able to detect fraud using AI or other technology tools, they can definitely use the same tools to find unnatural flow of money. It seems rather simplistic. I know it's not that simple, but it's at least a good starting point.
Okay.
And it really confounds me on why this act by the banks are not being done. Awareness is fine, but then you're just preaching to the victims, telling them stay safe.
Yes, stay safe.
Somebody is
Absolutely.
somebody is bound to fall victim. Then it is for the system to work for them and to protect them.
Okay.
Even
So there's
against
no
the
victim protection which is happening here. It is essentially caution which is being advised. Stay cautious, That is the only way. You have to protect your own self is the message which is coming in. Mohkam Singh, you are again a cyber fraud victim. Tell us your story.
Yeah.
Were you able to recover any money so far?
On this 23rd of this last month, I received messages, lot of OTPs that this is an OTP for a car share, this is OTP for this thing. I neglected all this OTP. And when in the night, around 8:30 p.m., I got a message on my phone. If you have applied for this new SIM, I didn't apply. The message was there that if you have not applied, you say just no SIM. So uh, I replied no SIM, and even acknowledgement from that Airtel also came to me that we have received your message. Thank you. Next day on Sunday, my contact my number, was stopped, and I think I went to the Airtel office. That was Sunday. All was closed. I called to the this thing their what do you call call centers, and nobody responded. So on 25th was Monday, and I just was having some that thing in mind that something is going wrong. I went to Airtel office early in the morning, and they just asked me that your phone has been hacked and if some SIM has been has been claimed by some another. You just rush to your bank. I rushed to my bank, and to my dismay, I found that from three accounts, already 1 crore and 26 lakhs rupees had been drained away. I was just surprised how to do that. And then my banker froze that account because I was somewhat lucky that the bank which I was using, the same bank that cyber persons were also
So
using the
in
same
your
branch.
case, there was no digital arrest per se.
No digital arrest. It was all. There's some hacked my phone,
Okay,
and they were
someone hacked
what
your phone.
phone.
Meeta Wadhwa, so did Mohkam Singh, did you receive your money back? Did you get your money back?
Yeah, I was lucky enough that I except 1 lakh, I have received all the money.
Okay.
But the thing is that in some point around 44 lakhs, they have sent to some MMTC company, and they have purchased gold from that. And
Okay.
that MMTC company is claiming that they came with the PAN card and GST and all that, and they are claiming that this money should be ours, and we didn't know that this is cyber, this fraud money. But this MMTC companies are this, they are acting as shelter for all these money what belongs to us. And they are even in 2023, this MMTC company was in league with Sukesh in a big fraud. The same day, the person from Mumbai is transferring money, and same day he's giving without having due diligence in checking the identity of the person. So the thing is that I think this cyber it is not well equipped because the surge is so much that
Yes.
the government
So
has
there is,
got to do something.
so Mohkam Singh, basically in your case, what we are looking at is there is a new form of cyber fraud, in which you are losing your money, but thankfully you were alert enough, and there has been recovery in your case. Meeta Wadhwa, tell us your story.
So mine was quite similar to what just sir explained. Basically, mine was not an individual account. So ours, we have a business, and so our company account was hacked basically. So it's a similar case where the SIM was closed on Friday night. When we tried making call from that, we realized that okay, there's some problem with the mobile, and being a Saturday and Sunday, we were not able to connect with the customer service. And finally, on Monday, by the time we reached the BSNL office, we were told that your SIM is already issued in Indore. So that was the first information we got. And when we checked with the bank, because then all our bank account is linked with that particular SIM, we realized that somebody got a SIM issued on our letterhead in Indore and has already withdrawn 45 lakh rupees over the weekend.
Okay.
And when on Monday we realized, because all the messages were going to that particular number.
Okay.
By Monday, when we realized the money was already pulled out from the account, and the last mile which we could go is that the person who was using the SIM was tracked, and he was taking a flight from Indore, and he left the phone near the airport. And this account was apparently some 92-year-old man in and around Shillong. And in fact, his account was also by the time empty.
So,
So this is
Meeta, did you get your money back?
no.
Okay. So it
So we
is.
are fighting a case against the two company, which is the BSNL and HDFC.
Okay.
But we are still not able to recover the money.
So Brijesh Singh, what's evident here is that they are several steps ahead of the law enforcement agencies. The scamsters are clearly looking at multiple ways. I mean, you have had two cases here on this show talking about SIMs being issued on the same number and how that is being used for withdrawing money wrongfully.
Marya, actually, what they're talking about is something called SIM swap fraud. And, countries like Tanzania have stopped SIM swap with a simple thing, with a simple API, that before transaction, the API checks whether there has been a SIM change request made or not. If there's a SIM change request, then the transaction doesn't go through. There's something like that which can be adapted here. Now, two more things which are very important from a consumer perspective. One is that there is an RBI circular which limits consumer liability in to 5,000 and 25,000 if they have informed within time. Like if the information is given within 3 days, the liability is just 5,000, and for between 4 to 7 days, the liability for current accounts is 25,000, and for credit cards it's 1 lakh rupees. One more thing is banking ombudsman. On the RBI side, you can, even if you've lost money, you can do you can complain on 1930. You can also note this site cybercrime.gov.in. So you can at your home, you can sit and register your complaint on cybercrime.gov.in, and they will send it to the local police station. However, you also have the route of banking ombudsman. And there is one thing here, that if there is contributory negligence, which normally banks say that since you have shared the ODP or you have transferred the money,
Yes,
the
what can they
liability
do?
is yours. However, in certain cases now, the courts are taking the view that there is the contributory negligence is totally not of the customer and asking the banks to repay the money. So banking ombudsman is also one route which can be obtained through the RBI site. The RBI has a complaint section on the site where they can find ombudsman and complain to the ombudsman, which is also a very good route for recovery of money apart from the criminal procedure.
Okay,
Marya?
quickly, before I let you go and I wrap up this discussion, Brijesh Singh, as someone who is an officer who understands the space much better than many others, has there been recovery in these cases? We are looking at huge number of cases. I mean, if we were to just sum it up in the last 10 months, I mean, as we were putting out those data, it is 4,000 crore.
Yeah, there have been recoveries, but the problem is once there is immediate debit, then the recovery of money is difficult because there is failure at the KYC level. See, law enforcement comes after the match is over, right? The real thing is to be done by banks who are the custodian of people's money. They need to establish better KYC protocols and better volume velocity checks. If the cyber criminals can profile and find out who to victimize, the banks can also. As Napinai was saying, there are technological means through which you can find out, let's say, mule accounts. In accounts where money is coming and immediately getting withdrawn, those are mule accounts. And the banks can definitely find out and stop these mule accounts. So there are failures at various ends, but I feel that things are tightening and we are learning every day from the new modus which these criminals adopt. And I think it's going to be better, but much needs to be done.
Absolutely. Brijesh Singh, N.S. Napinai, Meeta Wadhwa and Mohkam Singh, thank you for joining us on this edition of the News Track. But don't forget to tune in to India Today tomorrow at 6 p.m. for a mega exclusive with RJD Sayan and former Deputy Chief Minister of Bihar Tejashwi Yadav as he opens up about SIR and who will be the Mahagathbandhan's chief ministerial face as the election season kicks in clearly in poll-bound Bihar. That's a big exclusive coming up tomorrow.